Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 256 based on novel. So let's start. This celestial origin energy is limited. Consider it a self-defense gift from me. Along with that, summon the rain crystal. Unless you meet the powerhouses of the Alliance star system, you will be able to protect yourself. At this moment, Wang Lin's mind was filled with summon the rain and magical arsenal. He was immersed in them as he continued to absorb and comprehend them. Qing Shu silently pondered. After a long time, he looked at Wang Lin, revealing a look of farewell. He slowly said, "You have lost too much life force, senior brother isn't able to help you with this. All my spells are focused on battle and none can be used to heal. The only non-combat spell I learned from Master was Devour. You saw me use it back in the Thunder Celestial Realm. Now I'll pass it to you." As Qing Shu spoke, he placed his right hand between Wang Lin's eyebrows once more. The information about Devour entered Wang Lin's mind like crazy. This spell can be easily abused. Master hesitated a lot before teaching it to me. Now that you've learned it, you must only use it as a last resort. Qing Shui let out a sigh. Looking at Wang Lin's old face, he withdrew his right hand. Then he bit the tip of his tongue and drew a strange rune with his blood. The rune gave off a powerful scent of blood. The moment it appeared, all the dust in space quickly retreated. The loss of your life force is too serious. This rune can help protect you a bit. Qing Shui waved his right hand. The rune imprinted on Wang Lin's chest and disappeared. Wang Lin's body trembled violently. His appearance rapidly recovered, and a moment later his appearance was restored aside from his white hair. His body no longer showed damage from the loss of life force, it was completely hidden. This rune can't be used to restore life force and can't be used on a soul. Otherwise, you wouldn't be like this. Qing Shui turned around, walked off into the stars, and gradually disappeared. Junior brother, from now on, be careful. The method to recovering the G realm is related to divine retribution. However, don't tread this path until you have reached the Nirvana Shatterer stage. Before then, avoid it. Qing Shui left. Wang Lin's body trembled and then he regained consciousness. Everything that was said echoed in his ears. He looked at where Qing Shui went toward and silently pondered for a long time. Wang Lin softly said, "Thank you." Wang Lin felt an indescribable feeling in his heart as he left. He didn't go back to the Thunder Celestial Temple to enter the crack into the Alliance star system. Instead, he merged with the world and found the closest abandoned planet. After making sure it was safe, he sat down inside a cave he made. His divine sense spread out and Ta Shan stepped out and sat down to guard the cave. Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and the restriction ball holding Li Muan landed in his palm. While staring at the restriction ball, Wang Lin's eyes revealed sadness. His left hand lightly stroked the restriction ball, causing it to open up and reveal Li Muan's nascent soul, which had a sliver of life force. Even if I have to consume almost all my life, if it can be traded for even a glimmer of hope for you, I'm willing. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but it was filled with heart-wrenching pain. Li Muan's nascent soul trembled slightly. Although she didn't have the strength to awaken, 2 streams of tears fell from her nascent soul's eyes. But nascent souls have no tears. The moment the tears appeared, they dissipate and not a single drop fell. However, they turned into powerful pain that lingered in the area. As Wang Lin stared at Li Muan, a flash of light appeared between his eyebrows and the heaven-defying bead slowly formed. He placed Li Muan's nascent soul inside the heaven-defying bead. However, Wang Lin trembled as he found that Li Muan's nascent soul, now with a trace of life force, was still dissipating inside the heaven-defying bead. Although this dissipation was slow, it didn't stop. Wang Lin's face revealed bitterness. He silently pondered for a while before revealing a decisive expression. He slapped his bag of holding and the heaven-avoiding coffin flew out. The crystal coffin gave off a dazzling glow and was extremely gorgeous. Wang Lin's hand trembled as he took Li Muan's nascent soul out from the heaven-defying bead. Although he had made up his mind, Now he silently pondered once more. To let go or not to let go? Looking at Li Muan's quickly dissipating nascent soul, Wang Lin placed Li it inside the coffin. The moment her nascent soul landed in the coffin, she went from sitting down to lying down. Wang Lin stared intently. He forgot about everything else around him. Right now only Li Muan existed. The moment Li Muan lied down, a mysterious force filled the coffin. This power surrounded the entire coffin. When it swept by, Li Muan's nascent soul trembled and showed signs of collapse. However, just at this moment, the sliver of life force inside Li Muan's nascent soul began to move and the collapse slowed. Eventually, a five-colored light came from inside the coffin. At this moment, Wang Lin's heart experienced a huge change. He took a deep breath. With his intelligence, he immediately understood. If Li Muan didn't have that trace of life force, she would have collapsed inside this heaven-avoiding coffin. This coffin seems to only have an effect on people's life force, even if it is only a sliver. The five-colored light flashed inside the coffin. Shortly after, red strands appeared outside Li Muan's nascent soul. The threads moved around her, forming the outline of her body. Then the five-colored light condensed along the red lines to form the skeleton of a woman. In a short few breaths of time, Li Muan's body formed before his eyes. She lied quietly in the coffin as if she was sleeping. Even her breathing existed. As Wang Lin looked at this, tears fell from his eyes. For this one gaze, Wang Lin felt it was all worth it. 3 days later, Wang Lin left this abandoned planet with Li Muan and charged toward the Thunder Celestial Temple. Let us go home. Wang Lin's sorrowful voice spread across the stars. The sadness was so powerful that it lingered. In this short half a month, a bloodbath had begun in the Alliance star system. Starting from the west side of the Alliance star system, the All-Heaven Cultivator army rampaged across the system. Under the attacks of the All-Heaven Cultivators, cultivation planets fell one by one, and the cultivators on them retreated. It was as if it was the end of the world. What was interesting was that the Cultivation Alliance didn't do anything. They weren't anxious at all, and it was as if they were just watching from the sidelines. The All-Heaven side was very suspicious of this and couldn't determine the Alliance's attitude. Even Master Flamespark and company were filled with doubts. If the same thing happened in the All-Heaven star system, the Thunder Celestial Temple would have organized a counterattack right away. They would have never given the other side a chance to gain a foothold to recover. Not only were the Cultivation Alliance remaining silent, but not even a single rank 7 cultivation planet had appeared. All the cultivation planets occupied by the All-Heaven cultivators were rank 6. They couldn't find a single rank 7 planet. This strange case made the All-Heaven cultivators even more confused. On the surface, the All-Heaven side looked glorious. However, having to face the unknown and not being able to guess the other side's moves made all the old monsters from the All-Heaven star system feel uneasy. This wasn't even the main point. During this half-month of fighting, the combat effectiveness of the rank 6 cultivation countries shocked the All-Heaven cultivators greatly. Those bloodthirsty gazes, cunning plans, difficult to deal with treasures, and various other things all made the All-Heaven cultivators suffer heavy losses. The profound contrast made them understand that if their cultivation levels were the same, the All-Heaven cultivators would lose. What shocked the All-Heaven cultivators even more was that all the Alliance cultivators killed decisively and were very experienced in combat. The All-Heaven cultivators felt that every single Alliance cultivator was from planet Wang Lin. At this moment, a powerful aura suddenly burst out from an abandoned planet on the west side of the Alliance star system. Shortly after, a loud rumble echoed across the entire planet and spread like crazy. Fortunately, no one lived on this planet. Otherwise, no one would have been able to survive this fierce vibration. The earth trembled and the sea raged. It was as if the entire planet was on the brink of death. An excited laugh came from the planet, and along with it, even more violent popping sounds came. I'm out. Damn it, little girls of planet Phone 1, just you all wait. You all forced me into closed-door cultivation for so long, you forced me to have no choice but to hide on this damned planet. We're not through yet. An extremely arrogant voice echoed across the world. At the same time, a figure rushed out from the interior of the planet. The clothes on his body were in tatters and his skin was dark and very dirty. He looked extremely messy, but his eyes were bright. He gave off a strange light that would take one's breath away. As he charged out, there were sonic booms going off. Large pieces of the planet began to collapse as if it couldn't hold on anymore. I almost died from suffocation. I don't even remember how long ago I entered closed-door cultivation. It is a pity that all my princesses must have died during this time. Planet Phone One, this time I'm really angry. In one go, I cultivated until the early stage of Nirvana Scryer. I'm going to go be a king at Planet Phone One. The figure cursed loudly in the air as if he wanted to vent all the anger he had accumulated over the years. In the Alliance star system, Wang Lin had a head of white hair as he looked indifferently ahead. He slowly stepped forward. His pace wasn't fast, but there were ripples with each step and he traveled unmeasurable distances. While looking at the unfamiliar star system with a sense of familiarity, Wang Lin was calm. He had left this star system a very long time ago. When he left, he had just reached the ascendant stage. When he returned, he was already at the Nirvana Scryer stage. All Seer, Lin Qianhu. I, Wang Lin, have returned. Wang Lin's eyes shined. In his bag, he still had the key to the cave in the demon spirit land. He had made sure to keep the key safe. Wang Lin's cultivation level wasn't high when he was still in the Alliance star system. The highest power he knew of was only rank 7 cultivation countries. However, now he was a Nirvana Scryer cultivator and even in the All-Heaven star system, he had caught the attention of the old monsters. Now that he had returned, he could set off a storm if he wanted to. However, Wang Lin was very clear that the Alliance couldn't be compared to All-Heaven. The water in the Alliance was too deep. I must be cautious in the battle between the All-Heaven star system and Alliance star system. I mustn't carelessly join in. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he decided on a wait-and-see mentality. After returning to the Alliance star system, Wang Lin's caution immediately rose several folds. He knew that the cultivators of the Alliance star system, especially those old fellows, were all very cunning. Not to mention those that were at his cultivation level. If one was careless for even a moment, one could be devoured and not even know it. This place didn't have the cultivation family model of the All-Heaven star system. It was the law of the jungle, a cruel cultivation world. However, with my cultivation level after fusing with my original body, I will have no need to be timid in the Alliance star system. Wang Lin's eyes became cold. After returning to the Alliance star system, he immediately got in contact with his original body and determined each other's locations. As he walked, his divine sense spread out and surrounded the area. After a while, his expression changed. Along the way, he had been looking for an abandoned planet, and now had he found one. Ripples appeared under his feet as Wang Lin merged with the world and disappeared. When he appeared, he was on a desolate cultivation planet. It didn't have much spiritual energy, but the earth was filled with vitality. Looking around, the abandoned planet was covered in dense vegetation. When he found out that he needed life force to save Li Muan, he didn't hesitate and chose to exchange his life force for the Qi 11 spell. All these hundreds of years of waiting were only for this one opportunity. He couldn't just give it up. This time, it would be considered both a success and failure. The success was that although Li Muan hadn't revived, she had regained her body, so there was hope. Although Wang Lin had consumed a majority of his life force, he had other plans. Not even Qing Shui knew Wang Lin's backup plan. He even gave Wang Lin the rune that helped hide his current life force. Although Wang Lin looked like he hadn't aged, aside from his white hair, if the rune was broken, he would immediately age until he looked like a 1,000-year-old old man. The feeling of the heavens' reincarnation cycle calling him became even more powerful. However, Wang Lin's expression didn't change at all toward any of this. His body flickered and landed on this earth filled with vitality. After he landed, Wang Lin took a deep breath and sat down. Tarshan stepped out from his shadow and sat down a few feet away. Tarshan's eyes were cold. If there was the slightest movement that would harm Wang Lin, he would immediately attack. After letting out a big breath, Wang Lin raised his right hand and formed a seal. A black light began to gather on his index finger. At first, the black light was weak, but soon it was breathtaking. Finger of death, Wang Lin looked at the black light on his index finger. When he saw the third step, he knew that it would take too long to fix it, so he gave up on it. However, after hearing what Xiong Yundong said, that he needed a lot of vitality to save Li Muan, Wang Lin immediately thought of the finger of death. This spell used a very tyrannical way to devour all life and turn it into spiritual energy for the user. Once the finger lands, all life will collapse. Wang Lin's eyes shined as he lowered his right finger and pressed it on the ground. In an instant, the black light spread out in a circle with Wang Lin as the center. The black light spread out. In an instant, it covered the surrounding 500 kilometers. The towering trees within the area gradually withered and the leaves fell. The branches immediately cracked and finally the trees shattered. Even the falling leaves dissipated as they fell. Only large amounts of white gas flew out from the towering trees as they fell. The white gas drifted for a moment before quickly gathering toward Wang Lin. Not only the towering trees, but even the grass withered as the black light spread. Their life force was turned into white gas that gathered toward Wang Lin. In almost an instant, all life within 500 kilometers was extinguished and all of their life force charged out. If one looked from above, they would immediately see this strange scene. The entire 500-kilometer area had withered and bursts of white gas had gathered around Wang Lin as if it was alive. Wang Lin's figure was surrounded by this dense, white gas, so his figure was no longer clear. Thunder flashed inside Wang Lin's eyes as he deeply inhaled. All the white gas seemed to have found an open vent when he inhaled. It immediately formed a vortex, and at the end of the vortex was Wang Lin's mouth. Endless white gas entered Wang Lin's body and gathered inside his body. It then turned into life force and nourished his whole body. At the same time, it recovered all the life force Wang Lin had spent. As he absorbed, the bloody rune began to flash and floated 3 inches from his body. However, there were still traces of light from it that covered Wang Lin's body, providing protection and hiding him. Half an hour later, the last trace of white gas entered Wang Lin's body. The white gas had disappeared completely. The area within 500 kilometers of him was yellow, the ground was dry, and all vitality had disappeared. What was strange was that outside of the 500 kilometers, everything was normal, and this formed a sharp contrast. It was as if these two areas were two different worlds. The spell that the Xiong family ancestor used must be similar to the Finger of Death, that allows them to absorb life force to use as their own. He was too careless and didn't think I saw through it. Wang Lin revealed a sneer. How could half of my life force be so easy to devour? There will be a day when I take it all back. I can devour life force too. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes before he closed them. The black light quickly expanded like crazy. 1,000 kilometers, 1,500 kilometers. In an instant, it surrounded a 2,500-kilometer area. Grass withered and trees collapsed within the 2,500-kilometer area. Even some demonic beasts weren't able to escape. A large python more than 100 feet long was immediately surrounded by the black light. Its body trembled, and when the black light passed, its body immediately disintegrated. Large amounts of white gas flew out and gathered toward Wang Lin. The expansion of the black light didn't stop, it continued. 3,000 kilometers, 4,000 kilometers. 5,000 kilometers. All life within 5,000 kilometers collapsed. The endless life force seemed to form a storm, and the center of the storm was Wang Lin. Large amounts of white gas entered Wang Lin's body. The red rune before his chest continued to rise until it was 10 inches away from his chest. Wang Lin's eyes opened as his left hand grabbed the rune and pulled it. This big-headed boy had already seen the half-wasted cultivation planet from far away. From his understanding of the Alliance star system, this kind of planet should be a rank 6 cultivation planet. With his cultivation level, a rank 6 cultivation country wasn't worthy of his attention, and not to mention he had hundreds of cultivators with him. The only reason he was here was because he was passing by. His real mission was to be the first wave of cultivators to enter the southern region and scout the situation there. As he slowly approached, the expression of the old woman outside planet Suzaku became gloomy. Along with her were the other cultivators. They used their fast speed to return to planet Suzaku. When he saw this, the big-headed boy laughed and the foolish smile on his face became even stronger. Not only him, but even the all-heaven cultivators before him also laughed. In their eyes, this kind of cultivation planet was simply too weak. Any illusory yin cultivator could slaughter the entire planet. Celestial messenger, let us two brothers go to this planet. A middle-aged man walked out from behind the big-headed boy. His wasn't even at the illusory yin stage, only at the peak of the late stage of ascendant. His gaze toward the big-headed boy was filled with respect. A person followed behind the middle-aged man. The two of them looked every alike. The big-headed boy swept planet Suzaku with his divine sense and revealed a hint of contempt. If he wanted to destroy this planet, it would be too easy. He simply said, I'll give you 15 minutes. Kill all the cultivators here for me. The two brothers laughed. One of them said, Celestial messenger, rest assured. With a cultivation planet like this, there is no need for 15 minutes. We'll only need 7. With that, he charged like a meteor toward planet Suzaku. His brother followed him with killing intent. In the blink of an eye, the two broke through the atmosphere and arrived above planet Suzaku. Ju Wutai stood at the peak of Mount Suzaku. His eyes were like lightning and a powerful aura surged from his body. A slender sword floated before him as he stood on the peak and revealed a determined look. Cultivators stood silently behind him. Only a few of these cultivators were people who Wang Lin had met. All of them had improved over the hundreds of years that had passed. The old woman named Bai Shui descended from the sky. As the elder of the Immortals Path sect, planet Suzaku was her home, so she had to protect it no matter what. It is worth mentioning that one of the old men, one wearing a yellow robe, had the air of a celestial to him and he carried a sword on his back. However, he was near the back, so it was obvious that his status among them wasn't very high. If Wang Lin saw this person, he would be shocked. He was the sect leader of the Han Yu sect, one, Huang Long. At this moment, he had a serious expression, and there was no hint of it being fake. However, there were flashes of amusement in it, but no one could see through him. Since fellow cultivator Wang Lin left the position of Suzaku to me, I promised that I'd live and die with planet Suzaku. Today the enemy is before us. Even if I'm destroyed, I won't retreat even half a step. There were 2 ascendant cultivators behind Ju Wutai. They were both old men, and if Wang Lin was here, he would be able to recognize them. The 2 of them let out sighs. They looked at each other and revealed firm gazes. There was no way to escape. This wasn't a simple war but a battle between 2 star systems. They found out about this after receiving the information from the Cultivation Alliance. Fortunately, they had prepared some things for this, or else they would without a doubt die. On the other side of planet Suzaku, Yunquezi opened his eyes after hundreds of years of closed-door cultivation. He looked much older and his tattoo flashed on his forehead. He stood up and took a step forward. Then he appeared in the air and looked ahead. The Forsaken Immortal clan gathered one by one behind him, their expressions extremely serious. At the same time, some of the cultivators that never bothered with worldly affairs walked out. They looked at the sky as an oppressive aura appeared. This oppression felt like mountains falling from the sky. Anyone who dared to resist would be crushed. In the Cloud Sky sect, 2, Tai Yang, 3, was already old and his eyes were dim. His body was surrounded with death aura as his lifespan was about to reach its limit. He struggled to stand at the square of the Cloud Sky sect and silently looked at the sky. At this moment, all the cultivators on planet Suzaku looked up at the sky. The various cultivators in the sects from rank 5 to rank 3 all looked at the sky with serious expressions. The 2 meteors representing a catastrophe for planet Suzaku had descended. The 2 meteors were the 2 brothers from the All-Heaven star system. The moment the 2 brothers arrived, they laughed like crazy. Their laughter was extremely arrogant. The two of them did have the qualifications to do so. On planet Suzaku, a peak late-stage ascendant cultivators was a powerful force, and because they came as a pair, they were a formidable force. Even this abandoned planet has so many cultivators. If it was in my all-heaven star system, no one would even bother occupying this kind of planet. The Alliance star system is only SOSO. As the laughter spread, one of them spread their power like crazy and his divine scene stormed across planet Suzaku. At this instant, the powerhouses of planet Suzaku, Yunkeizi, Ju Wutai, and other ascendant cultivators quickly flew into the air. They were prepared for war. However, just at this moment, the cultivator who spread out his divine sense swept past the cloud sky sect, and it was as if he was struck by lightning. It was as if tens of thousands of thunderbolts had exploded next to his ears, causing him to become unsteady. His mind trembled, eyes bulged, and an expression of disbelief appeared on his face. Even fear began to spread through his body like crazy. This is... There was a huge statue located at the gate of the Cloud Sky sect. This was a statue of Wang Lin. This very lifelike statue accurately displayed Wang Lin's appearance. In particular, the coldness from his eyes that could pierce one's bones. When the other all-heaven cultivator saw his brother's expression, he was shocked. His divine sense spread out and locked onto the statue. His body trembled and the terror he revealed was 10 times, 100 times stronger. Demon. Master Demon Shu Mu. The two of their scalps immediately tingled and their hearts pounded. They looked at each other in disbelief and saw the panic in each other's eyes. The name, Master Demon Shu Mu, was simply too famous in the all-heaven star system. During the Celestial title competition, he had gained the position of Thunder Celestial and could command 3,000 cultivators. This kind of prestige wasn't something a normal person could obtain. Forget them, even their ancestors would have to be respectful when meeting Master Demon Shu Mu. Even the Celestial Messenger, the big-headed boy, would tremble before Master Demon Shu Mu. The two of them complained inside their hearts. Their arrogance and killing intent disappeared and was replaced with panic. The two of them didn't hesitate to quickly flee. They were too aware of what Master Demon Shu Mu meant. This name represented slaughter, endless slaughter. To go against this person meant you would without a doubt die. Celestial Lord Qing Shui's junior brother, a Thunder Celestial, #1 among the juniors of the All-Heaven Cultivators, benefactor to countless cultivation families, and the one who caused the Yao family to suffer heavy losses after being hunted by them. Any of those accomplishments was enough to make these two brothers die countless times. At this moment, they didn't even bother questioning what was going on. After losing their wits, they just wanted to leave as soon as possible. With their intelligence, they were sure they weren't mistaken. That statue was Shu Mu. No matter how much courage was given to them, they wouldn't dare to provoke Shu Mu. As for why Shu Mu's statue was here and obviously worshipped was something they didn't want to know. The regret in their hearts was already monstrous. If they had known, they would have never come here, because this kind of thing would definitely offend Shu Mu. The rapid retreat of the two brothers shocked all the cultivators on planet Suzaku. This was especially true for Ju Wutai, who was prepared for a difficult battle. The sudden change in the situation startled him. Not only him, but even the Forsaken Immortal clan was greatly shocked. Only Yunkei's eyes narrowed as he looked toward the Cloud Sky sect. On planet Suzaku, he had the most seniority, and his cultivation level had increased a lot over the years. The two cultivators from the All-Heaven Star system only fled once their divine senses locked onto the Cloud Sky sect. Cloud Sky sect. What item is there to scare away two powerful peak late ascendant cultivators? And from the expressions of those two, they were scared out of their wits. Yunkeizi saw with his own eyes the panic on the faces of the two escaping cultivators. This made him extremely shocked. His divine sense spread out and suddenly locked onto Wang Lin's statue in the Cloud Sky sect. Could it be? Yunkei's eyes opened wide, but his heart was filled with disbelief. Ju Wutai and some other old monsters also thought of this point. These people were all astute. After pondering a bit, they all noticed the problem. Their divine senses had spread out and locked onto the Cloud Sky sect. Tai Yan looked at Wang Lin's statue. His eyes were filled with excitement as he muttered, "Benefactor, it must be my benefactor." As for the two All-Heaven brothers, they panicked as they flew out from planet Suzaku. They immediately saw the big-headed cultivator and the cultivators behind him. The big-headed boy had his eyes closed. He opened them and frowned before he calmly asked, "What's wrong?" This video will end here.